Arsenal have made some moves official, and obviously we're talking about another title race this season already, as we mentioned. Riccardo Calafiori, we've been talking about this one happening, has signed from Bologna for Arsenal. 2 goals and 5 assists in 34 games last season, and obviously caused a bit of a stir at the Euros. Many teams looking at this player. It's Arsenal who secured his services. And Emil Smith-Rowe will be joining Fulham, according to reports, for 34 million. And so we won't be seeing him with Arsenal, we'll be seeing him with Fulham next season. Now, when it comes to the title odds, it is Manchester City who are still favourites. And this is an interesting topic on its own, because Stevie's take on this is that just by the law of how things go, they're unlikely to make it 5 in a row because nobody's ever done it. That's how he's judging this one. What do you say about that, Nedum? Are Manchester City going to win it again this year?
You see, I'm with Stevie in starting the season believing that it's just going to happen again, because for as much as City have won those 4, we've seen the journey for them to win the 4. And as I said earlier in the show, they're like 1 week away from having won nothing all 4 seasons. So I'm not necessarily a believer in that. I think from my standpoint, obviously we know that City are a very good side. I think this is going to be a very significant year for them in terms of hearings and stuff like that in the first half of the season as such. But I like Arsenal. I like Arsenal a lot. I feel like those players, I feel like they have growth within them. I think City are the product that they are right now. And I think on a season-to-season basis, they're more consistent than other sides, which is why they win the league. But I think the Arsenal side is still trending upwards. Even though they finished in the 80-point bracket last season, I believe they can do better. I believe that moment last season, for example, when they lose at home to Aston Villa on a key point, I don't think that happens again next season if they're in with a chance of it, because those young players that they have, they're gaining more experience, they're getting better, the coaching's good, the stability of the football club's there, the manager's in a good position, the director of football, the engagement with the fans, and so I think they can get better again. So, yes, City will be favourites because we know how good they are, but I think going through the first few months of the season, I think we'll see an Arsenal side that feel, in my opinion, just that little bit better than they were last year.
Because, yeah, Mario, if you're to look at it right now and you don't think of what's come before, and you're just to look at the 2 squads and what we do know about these 2 teams right now, who have you got?
I'm what Nate said, you know, like, it's been going for a couple of seasons now, and I've been saying Arsenal, Arsenal, and every time it's almost like they disappoint me because I expect them to go all the way, and that long run sometimes have the difficulty to them, especially when it comes down to the winter period. That's when they start always having the surprises going on, because City knows how to do it. For me, it was more like if Guardiola would have made a change, then it would have been an obvious choice for me. But I still think Arsenal, like Nate said, I think Arsenal, they have the ingredients. They have everything set up for them to go all the way. 2 years in a row, you're second. Now, you need to be hungry to go and win it. And I'm not saying that, hey, we cannot count City out, because you just spoke about Savinho, we talked about Grealish, you know, like all those players that they almost have a winging side now at City that can beat anybody. How did Spain win the Euros? They had 2 wingers that could beat a player. And now City is setting it up again. So that is going to be the problem. But Arsenal, I expect them to, let's see, after 3? Come on, guys, now, come on. You cannot play some beautiful football the whole season, not in the winter, stop playing.
It doesn't always work that way, though, does it? Or because it hasn't happened yet, it's going to have to happen soon.
But I can see exactly why people are saying that Arsenal win the title, because I think they've got a great team spirit. The crowd, and I think Nedum said it, the crowd are now fully behind the team, behind the manager. There's a good team spirit there. They've got excellent players. They're just maybe 1 or 2 players slightly short, which I'm sure they're going to change. We've seen already 1 come in. And Manchester City, whenever I watch them, the player that, for me, inspires Manchester City, makes them from a brilliant side to a great side, is Kevin De Bruyne. And it all depends whether he's fully fit. And if he's not fully fit, and we've seen stats of how many goals he creates for Haaland, he's the key player. He still is the key player for Man City. And if he doesn't play or he's not fully fit, Manchester City aren't the same team.
Aren't the same team, but then maybe they can miss him for a little bit and still catch up.
For a little bit.
For a little bit.